Howdy y'all, welcome to another episode of Vern's Misadventures. So as the title may well give away, I got hold of a Compaq portable 386. And this is just a real quick view of me unboxing it. It was packaged pretty well, no complaints there in the least. And we got the machine in probably as good a condition as possible. So we'll put it up on the desk and I'll go through it with you. So I turned it on, and of course the screen lit up orange, which is really cool, and the plasma display there. And I waited for it to check itself out, and of course it had a dead CMOS battery. So the settings are not set, and so you have to press F1 to continue. Well, that's when things took a bad turn. The keyboard wasn't working very well, and as you can see here, I'm beating the heck out of the F1 key with no response. So I kept at it for a while and eventually got it to respond to the F1 right there. And so I knew it was going to attempt to boot, but it wasn't going to be able to because it doesn't know it has a hard drive and there's nothing in the floppy. So I set out to put a floppy disk in the drive there. Of course, you press any key to continue after you've put a operating system disk in, and I had to find a key that worked. So now we're just waiting for it to boot. And then, okay, so it's starting MS-DOS. So there you have it, but the keyboard's not working very well. It's got dirty contacts, or maybe it needs to be repaired. We'll find out when we get it apart. I'm going to have to get us a cable to replace the keyboard cable, though. That cable, a little worse for wear. The rubber, or whatever it is, I guess it's rubber, yeah. The insulation on the keyboard cable dries out and then flakes off. And that's happened on a number of Compaq computers that I've had. I don't know if it's just a Compaq thing or just problems with computers of the era. But I can certainly say that the Compaqs have this problem. So, as you can see, we have very few keys that actually want to work, as I'm beating away on a keyboard and getting very little response. But hey, let's look at the bright side. The computer turned on, the screen works, the computer obviously works itself, you know, the CPU, the memory and all that, because it did start MS-DOS. The drive itself works, the floppy drive, so we got a lot of good things happening here. And now we know what we're going to have to do in order to move forward. First thing we're going to have to do is fix this keyboard. So let's get into that. So first thing to do is we got to remove this keyboard cable from the computer. It just pulls right out. And there's actually a connector on it. How about that? It is a 5-pin DIN connector, very similar to the replacement cables connector that's on it. So I went ahead and left the original connector on the replacement cable. It fits a little snugly, but it does fit. So yeah, I'll have to put a little extra force on it to make that work. But, yeah, it looks good. I think we can make something work with this. So next thing probably to do will be to move the computer out of the way so we can just work on the keyboard. We'll lug this thing off to another area. Yep. Now, this is going to prove to be something of a wrestling match, but I'll just do a montage. How about that? and then all of a sudden, crack, it come right open. So didn't look like I broke too many tabs. I think I broke one or two. No screws hold it together. Let's get these screws out to separate the keyboard and see what the foam and foil look like. Yeah, so looking at the foam and foil, they look to be in pretty good shape here. They are a little dirty, so let's try just cleaning them up. Before we mess with that though, we're going to have to go through the work of doing the cable. So let's see if we can get that figured out first, and then after the cable's on, we'll clean it up, put it back together. So the two cables have different color wires in them, of course. Couldn't be that simple. So the key is to figure out which wires go to the same pins on the connectors, because connectors are the same. So if we can just make a truth table that basically shows, okay, you know, red goes to brown or whatever the combination was. I've slept since then, I can't tell you. But that was the plan. I would just go ahead and figure out which wire went to which pin and then match it up with the other cable and make a truth table. And then go from there. Then I'd know where to solder the wires. Alrighty. Truth table in hand, we're ready. Strip the new one. Now I can start working with the old one. I thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and clip off the extra length there. And then I was messing with that and I realized, you know, I'm fighting with a stupid cable and there's no reason for that. I've got everything I need. I've got a picture of where the colors go on the circuit board there, so let's just get this cable out of our way. We'll just chop it off. So we'll add a little fresh solder, a little bit of flux, and we'll montage the rest. Well, if it was just dirty, that should have fixed it. Won't know till we put it back together and try it. So let's do that. All right, let's hook it up. Love that moment when you're ready to see it okay and you flip the switch and nothing happens because you forgot to plug it in. Then you plug it in and the switch is on, so you hot plugged it. Alrighty. Looks like we're booting. Ooh. Look at that. Press F1 one time and went right in. We might have this thing fixed. Oh, now we'll put the floppy disk in there that has the DOS 622 on it. Starting MS-DOS. Look at that. We can type directory. How about that? This thing's almost usable. Run through the keys real quick, make sure they all work. So yeah, because we didn't have the setup disk, it still doesn't realize it has a C drive. So put the old Petsky robots in there. So I'm pretty sure this computer has CGA graphics, even though they are monochrome. I went ahead and selected the reverse video, and that might have been a mistake here. But at any rate, it will play the game. Hey y'all, I want to thank you for watching. We got this far with it anyway. We have a working computer. Next time we work on it, we will retrobright the keyboard, and we'll see what else we can get into. So I'd like to invite you to subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care.